Now we actually have the bed made for our brick path. And now what we're going to do at this point is actually do two things. One is check the measurements and make sure they're correct, and the other is to start putting in stakes to mark off where the French drain is going to go. Our original measurements were actually 43 inches wide, which is 5.5 bricks, and 67 inches long, which is actually 8.5 bricks. So what I've done is just measured out with using the bricks themselves, putting 8.5 bricks this way, 5.5 bricks this way to make sure it actually fits. In this case, we do have 5.5 bricks wide and 8.5 bricks long, and with a little bit of room left over, which is perfect. For marking the French drain, you've got to figure out where you're going to actually put it within this section. If you're not using a path, it goes a lot easier. It actually rained a few days ago, and it put 4 inches of water in this pit. So we're hoping the French drain will actually take care of that problem. 4 inches of water took 2 days to drain out, and that's the extent of our flooding issue and the thing we're trying to fix. To put in the French drain, I've marked out where our biggest problem on the other side is, and it's about 16 inches in from the path. To do that, all we have to do is take our tape measure, our stakes, and our hammer again, and just make the measurements we need. So we're going to go 16 inches in from this side edge. So that's 16 inches. And take your hammer, after you got it marked, and just drive the stake directly in. Now for the second measurement, we're actually going to measure up 9 inches and then pound the peg back in. So this is 9 inches right here. Now when actually wrapping the string again, you want to go on the inside edge because this is where our hole is going to be. So you just wrap it around the stake with that being on the inside edge, and when you continue it on, again it's on the inside edge so you get a flat edge in which to work with. And you just do that for all the stakes. Now the ends are not as important, and the reason is because they've already been dug. And we're also going to continue our French drain on this way and that way a little bit in order to really make sure the drainage problem is taken care of. Because of course with the path and all the path material, you may actually make a bigger problem with the water floating on top of the path instead of getting down into the French drain and draining out. So as you wrap the string, you just want to make sure it stays on the inside edge of all the stakes in order to make sure, give you that straight line that we've been talking about and making it easier to dig with. Just wrap it a couple of times around the stakes and then send it on to the next one. So now we actually have our French drain marked where we're actually going to dig, and all we have to do is actually dig. But we have to keep our grade steady in order to get the water to drain out. If you put in the pipe flat, it actually will the water will sit there and not only drain when the ground allows it to drain, and it will create the exact same problem we've already had. So what we're going to do is actually, the math for it is 1 inch for every 10 feet of pipe. Our drain is not going to be a complete 10 feet because our path is so short. So on this side of the hole I'm going to go down 11 inches. On that side of the hole I'm going to go down 12 inches and then smooth it out in between, and that should keep our grade steady. Now all you have to do now is take the shovel and start digging. Again, 12 inches on that side, 11 inches on this side. And the reason we're putting the grade down that way is the ground slopes that way anyway. So if we put it back over here, we could create a problem where we're just dumping water back into an area that's trying to dump it this way. So we're going to continue our grade this way. 11 inches on this side, 12 inches on the other side. While digging, you're only going to want to try to mark off where the hole was going to be originally. And the reason behind that is you're going to lose your stakes here very quickly. They're not down 12 inches that we need to go, so as the dirt gets dug out from them, they're just going to flop over. So if we mark shallow depth on the French drain, we can get rid of the stakes and then just continue digging our hole. Now again, the ground here is very moist because of the rain that we've had over the last few days. and it's making the digging a lot easier. It's also making everything else dirtier.